Good morning, and welcome to today's hearing of the Subcommittee on Interior of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Our purpose today is to examine the Department of Energy's management of the U.S. excess uranium inventories. This is uranium of varying grades owned by the federal government that has been declared surplus to the national security needs of the United States. This uranium has significant value. Selling it generates revenue for the federal government and displaces uranium produced by private industry in the marketplace. The Department of Energy's management of this uranium has prompted questions by the domestic uranium industry as well as the Government Accountability Office, a nonpartisan agency that investigates how the federal government spends taxpayer dollars. The GAO found that the Department of Energy failed to consistently value uranium it transferred to third parties in exchange for other services. The GAO found that other transfers violated the miscellaneous receipts statute, which requires government officials who receive money on the government's behalf to deposit those funds with the Treasury, except where otherwise provided by law. By not depositing an amount equal to the value of the uranium into the Treasury, DOE has inappropriately circumvented the power of the purse granted to Congress under the Constitution. Further, the GAO found that the Department of Energy's studies to assess the market impact of proposed uranium transfers as required by the USEC Privatization Act of 1996 failed to show quality assurance guidance to provide detail about the data, methodology, and assumptions made in studies, and it had other shortcomings. So this raised questions about the validity of the conclusion that the proposed transfers would have no adverse material impact on domestic uranium industries. The domestic uranium industry plays an important role in ensuring America is not completely dependent on foreign sources of energy, particularly in the area of uranium, where we actually import about 90% of the uranium that we use here. Completely unnecessary to do so. While I note that the DOE is in the process of revising its procedures to determine the market impact of proposed transfers of excess uranium, it's important to discuss previous problems to ensure they are not repeated. Today we will hear from the GAO to discuss their reports. We will also hear from the Department of Energy to learn more about their management of excess uranium and their response to the GAO. Finally, we will hear from a representative of the domestic uranium industry to discuss how these transfers have affected the industry. A representative of the Fluor B&W Portsmouth, who is the DOE contractor for cleanup at the Portsmouth Gaseous Diffusion Plant in Piketon, Ohio, was invited to the hearing to discuss the importance of the cleanup that some of the transfers have funded, but was unable to attend. I look forward to hearing the panel discuss ways that the excess uranium management can be improved to eliminate legal concerns and ensure the best value for the taxpayer while not disrupting the domestic uranium industry, and continue to meet DOE's obligation to clean up its legacy sites. With that, I would like to thank the witnesses in advance for your testimony.